Good afternoon, children.
Good afternoon.
Ma'am.
We have only few more topics to complete this chapter. And last class, we discussed about external and internal fertilization. And we also learned about IVF or in vitro fertilization. And this method or this technique is carried out in order to treat infertility. And I told you I'll be repeating the same topic again in today's class. IVF is carried out when some ladies, some women, some married women, when there is a block in their oviduct and they cannot conceive, this technique is adopted. IVF means in vitro fertilization. Normally in human beings, fertilization is taking place in the fallopian tube of females. But because of the defect in their fallopian tube or oviduct, fertilization is carried out in laboratory conditions. For that, sperm as well as the egg, freshly released egg from the female parent and sperms from the male parent are collected and they are allowed to fuse together under laboratory conditions. And in case the egg gets fertilized and a zygote is formed, this zygote will be allowed to grow for around 1 week outside the body in the laboratory conditions. And once it is completed, the zygote with 1 week's growth will be introduced into the mother's uterus and further development takes place in the mother's uterus just like any other baby. And the babies born through this technique are known as test tube babies. You should not misunderstand by the term. The term can be misleading. Like some chemicals you add and the baby comes out of the test tube. It's not like that. Test tube symbolizes the laboratory conditions. So here the fertilization is allowed to take place in the laboratory conditions outside the body. But soon after the fertilized egg is formed, within 1 week, it will be introduced into the mother's womb and further development will be just like any other baby. It is not by mixing any chemicals in the test tube that the baby is formed, but normal process by the fusion of sperm and egg. Any doubt in that topic, children? This we had completed last class and I just thought I'll just quickly recap as I have promised. IVF is clear? Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So you should respond. Why taking so much time to respond? Now let's continue with the chapter. 2 more slides are remaining. With that, we will complete the chapter. So next is the differences between oviparous and viviparous animals. You know that all living things give rise to their young ones. But some of them will lay eggs and some of them will give birth. Some lay eggs and some give birth. Ova means egg. Already you have learned. Ova means eggs. Ovum means egg. So ova is a term related to eggs. So those animals which lay eggs like birds, reptiles. So all those animals we call as oviparous animals. And those animals which give birth to young ones are known as viviparous animals. Clear? Oviparous and viviparous animals. The difference between oviparous and viviparous animals is that viviparous animals give birth, whereas oviparous animals, they lay eggs. Clear? Viviparous give birth. Did you understand the difference? Oviparous animals are those animals which lay eggs. So don't get confused between oviparous and viviparous. Ova, eggs. So oviparous means animals which lay eggs. Those produce their young ones by laying eggs, and at the same time, like human beings, tiger, god, cat, elephant, all these animals, they give birth to their young ones, and such animals you call as viviparous animals. So you should know the difference between these two categories and suitable examples. Maybe for 1 or 2 marks it can be asked, what are oviparous animals? Give examples. Or what are viviparous animals? Explain with example or distinguish between these two. Okay, now moving on to the next slide. Now here you can see frog and a butterfly. The frog, yes,
Excuse me, ma'am.
ah, yes.
Ma'am, so is mammal another name for viviparous?
Mammal, we cannot say it is another name for that. Mammals, they give birth. Even under mammals, there are organisms which lay eggs. Exceptional cases are there. Like, I don't know whether you have heard about that. Echidna and platypus. 1 minute, I'll just write on the board. Echidna and platypus, duck-billed platypus, you say, these two are mammals, but they are laying eggs. They lay eggs. So exceptional cases are there. That is not the different name. Mammals, like we are included under mammals. Mammals got the name, this particular name, mammals, came from the word mammary glands. Because all the mammals have mammary glands which produce milk to nourish their young ones. That is why they got the name mammals. Okay, that was Isha. Was that Isha?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, because
Yes,
from the voice,
ma'am.
I'm trying to recognize. Okay, now is it clear? Mammals is not a exact meaning, or viviparous doesn't mean mammals, or mammals doesn't mean viviparous. Viviparous animals are those which are giving birth. But mammals got that name due to the presence of mammary glands which produce milk to nourish their young ones. And even under mammals, we have certain animals that lay eggs. Those two are exceptional cases. All other mammals give birth. Hope your doubt is clear, Isha.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now here you can see a frog and a butterfly. But frog, in the beginning, it is not in this same shape. See, just before that, you can see tadpole. Tadpole resembles a fish more than a frog. It's having a tail, it's having an elongated body, they breathe through gills like fishes. So there is no similarity between the larval stage and the adult stage. An adult frog will lay eggs. An adult frog will lay eggs. Eggs will hatch into tadpole, the early stage, late stage, but later the tail, gills, etc. disappear and they get changed into an adult frog. If you take the case of butterfly or silkworm moth, they also exhibit the same, because their young stage, the larval stages, do not resemble the adult. Adult butterfly will lay egg. That eggs will hatch into caterpillar. Then they will develop a cocoon around it, and you call it as pupa or chrysalis. Then the adult will emerge out, and which is very beautiful, like pupa, caterpillar and all. It's not that attractive, but from the same organism undergoing some changes, it will get transformed into a very beautiful butterfly. So this process, you call it as metamorphosis, the transformation of larva into adult. The transformation of larva into adult through drastic changes is known as metamorphosis. So what is metamorphosis? The transformation of larva into adult through drastic changes. That is known as metamorphosis. If you are asked to give examples for metamorphosis, the life cycle of frog, where the adult frog will lay eggs, it will hatch into the larval stage, the young stage. You call it as tadpole, and tadpole will further undergo changes and get transformed into an adult frog. Similarly, silkworm, moth or butterfly, they will lay eggs. Eggs will hatch into caterpillar, then pupa, and finally the adult butterfly. And here in both cases, you can see the larval stage is entirely different from the adult stage. So to get transformed into the adult stage, they undergo drastic changes, and you call the process is metamorphosis. The transformation of larva into adult through drastic changes is known as metamorphosis. Any clarification needed? Any explanation? Further explanation is needed, children? So with that, we have completed the chapter reproduction. Only one more chapter is remaining. As I told you, it's a very interesting chapter, reaching the age of adolescence. So you all have already reached the age of adolescence. So we'll be discussing about some problems faced by adolescents. So that chapter will be starting in our next class. But now if you have any doubts regarding the current chapter, you can ask me and clarify. Anything which is taken today or earlier also, if you need to clarify, you can ask. Starting from asexual methods of reproduction, any doubts, tell me now, I'll clarify it. We learned about asexual reproduction, binary fission and budding we learned. Then we learned about sexual reproduction, reproductive parts in human males and human females, process of fertilization, types of fertilization, external and internal fertilization. Then we learned about the different stages in the development of a baby, starting from zygote, embryo, fetus, and finally the baby will be delivered when the fetus completes its development. Then oviparous and viviparous animals, and finally about metamorphosis. Any of the topics, if you have doubts, you can ask me now. No doubts? Huh? Vaishnavi is having some doubt? No. No problem. You ask Nandana, Pooja, Adelio, Ken. Any doubts? Clarify your doubts. If not, I'm going to ask you a few questions to know whether you all have understood the chapter. If any doubts, this is the time. Muhammad Salim, you don't want me to see you. I'm just seeing the shelf in your house, the cupboard I can see. Okay, now it's fine. Advait, Sinoop, Amin, Shafiq, Ken, please do turn your videos on. I know there is no problem with the connectivity. Yes, Advait also. Okay, Advait. Advait, Sinoop. Okay, I got your message. Any doubts? Shall I ask you questions? Children, it will be too boring if I am speaking alone. So when I'm asking something, you respond yes or no. Don't shake your head. Just tell me. Alvin, tell me. Have you understood all the points? What about others?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So when I pressurize a lot, one or two will open their mouth. Children, you should respond. Only then the class becomes lively. I just keep on talking. What is the use? So I'm going to ask a few questions. Let me see who is going to answer. As we did before, I don't know whether I had done the same in your class. You can raise your hands if you know the answer. Let me see who is going to score the maximum points. Let me see who is the star of this particular period. Shall I start asking questions? Agreed? Okay. First question. Name an organism that carries out binary fission. Those who know, put up your hands. Lynette?
Ma'am, amoeba.
Amoeba. An organism that carry out budding. Lakshmi? Lakshmi? Lakshmi is not there. Sridev?
Yeast.
Yeast as well as Hydra can
Hydra.
carry out budding. Okay, let me mark the points. Lynette and who else answered? Sridev. Okay, next question. What is the first step in sexual reproduction? The most important step in sexual reproduction. Same sentence is there in your textbook. It begins with what process? Yes, Lakshmi.
Fusion of fer-
Fusion of what?
female
Female and male. Female and male.
gametes.
To form. What do they form?
Zygote.
Yes. So when you say an answer, it should be complete. Okay. Next question. What is the difference between embryo and fetus? One major difference. The difference between embryo and fetus. Isha?
Ma'am, fetus is the fully developed baby.
Means fetus we
And
cannot say
embryo is
fully
the
developed.
developing form.
When compared to embryo, one major difference is there. Nivedya?
Ma'am, in the stage of fetus, we can clearly understand the legs and hands and all, like the body parts of the baby.
The body parts can be distinguished in the fetal stage. Then embryo?
It will be the cells,
Embryo is what?
group of cells will be
Cells. Formed from?
The developed structure.
Formed from what, Nivedya?
zygote.
Yes. So Nivedya, okay. Now next question. What is the major difference between zygote and embryo? One difference. Tom?
And zygote is a unicellular
Yes.
and embryo is a multicellular.
Very good. Now next question. What is meant by metamorphosis? Lynette? Lynette had been raising hands for a long time now, Lynette. Okay.
Ma'am, the transformation of larva into an adult through drastic changes is known as metamorphosis.
Very good. Then, what is meant by external fertilization? Fadil?
Ma'am, fertilization happening outside the body of female.
Is known as external fertilization. Can you give an example?
Ma'am, frog.
Yes, frog. Good. Fadil. Okay. Fadil, I don't know whether it is because of the problem with the lighting. Any problem with your right eye?
Ma'am, it's when I born itself it is there.
I thought you fell down or somewhere here some black shade I felt. Okay, I thought something happened recently. Okay. Then the next question. Explain IVF. Explain IVF. Okay, Adikesh.
Ma'am, some women are unable to bear the babies.
Women. Okay.
And bear the babies because the sperms cannot enter the ova.
Enter the
ovum. Ma'am, egg.
oviduct. Okay, there is a block in the oviduct. Then
in such cases, the doctors collect the freshly released egg and sperms and keep them together for a few hours.
Are you reading, Adi? Are you reading from somewhere? Don't read. I want you to recollect. You can make mistakes, no problem. But try to say in your own words. Yes, then continue.
Then in that case, the zygote will develop. Zygote will be kept for 1 week, and it will
Okay.
develop and will be kept back in the mother's uterus,
Then further development will take place just like
just like the other babies.
other babies. Okay, good. Okay. Then the next question. What to be asked next? Okay. Why frogs lay hundreds of eggs, whereas birds like hen lay a single egg? So many are there. Ritvik. Yes, Ritvik can answer. Oh, I can't hear you. What happened? Others can hear him?
No.
No. Sorry, Ritvik. So next turn is for Sridev.
In frogs, external fertilization occurs.
Then? So,
In hen,
in hen,
it has an outer covering. It has a
tell
protect.
points in a proper order. You said in frogs, external fertilization takes place. Then?
They don't have any protection because they can be eaten by predators. It can be moved away by wind or water movement.
Okay. So they will lay?
They will lay thousands of eggs.
Oh, hundreds.
Hundreds
Hundreds
of
of eggs. Then?
Then they will release the sperm into the water.
So why they are, you come to the point, because they will release hundreds of eggs so that at least
few of them will
a few of them will
get fertilized.
Yes, but in hen?
But in hen they lay only one egg.
Because in them,
it-
what type of fertilization?
Internal fertilization.
Internal fertilization, and they have got a protective covering also. Okay. Sridev. So the maximum score today it is Lynette and Sridev. So next class, let me see who is going to score the maximum. So next class, which chapter? This chapter we'll revise?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Or you want to start from the beginning? We will be continuing with our next chapter, plus some revision also can be carried out, I think. Why don't you revise the same chapter? I can give an MCQ test or something towards the end of the lesson. Okay, not towards the end of the lesson, towards the end of the next period. I can give you a MCQ test, so please come prepared. Okay, agreed? Okay, thank you children. See you next class.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.